What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. Today we are checking out one of the most affordable ROG devices available on the market. So this right here, it's called the Leagoo XRover C, and maybe that C comes from cheap because you can buy this phone for somewhere between $100 to $120, so very affordable. This one is also shockproof and waterproof, but me personally I never dropped the phone, so I can confirm if the phone is shockproof. However, I did have the phone in water, and as you can probably see for yourself, it still works fine now. Now, the most impressive thing about this phone has to be the battery life. So inside it we have a 5000 mAh battery, and on one charge you can get somewhere between 10 to 14 hours of screen on time. And I think that's amazing for any phone at any price. We even get an NFC chip inside this phone, something that we never see from phones around $100, and that means that you can make payments to the phone and you can also transfer files in between devices. Even the build quality is quite decent, and the phone doesn't look bad considering that this is a ROG device. So on the sides we have metal, the buttons are also made out of metal, the top, the bottom and the back are made out of plastic, and on the back there we even get a fingerprint scanner. The fingerprint scanner works good 10 out of 10 times, but it isn't the quickest out there, but we've seen that many times in the past. So after you touch the fingerprint scanner, it takes about a second for the screen to come on. And talking about the screen, so this is a 5.72 inches IPS screen that has a 720p resolution. The colors look great, the viewing angles look great, but the screen doesn't get that bright. So whenever you take the phone outside in direct sunlight, it is difficult to see. There is even a notification light, and all the way at the top we have a 3.5mm audio jack, a feature that we don't usually see with phones these days. But then at the bottom they decided to use a micro USB charging port, and it makes you wonder how much money they actually save by using a micro USB charging port over a USB-C port, because it can be that much. Also, charging the phone from 0 to 100 takes about 3 hours, so definitely very slow, so you'll have to take that in consideration whenever you're charging the phone. So everything up until now did sound quite good, didn't it? Well, now we have to talk about the not so good stuff. So inside this phone we have the MediaTek 6739. This is a quad-core CPU, but this is an entry-level CPU, so it is quite slow. And if you check the scores on the Antutu benchmark and the Geekbench forum, well, those benchmark results will only confirm that. We also have 2 gigs of RAM, and that is definitely not enough for a lot of stuff. So if you're gonna use this phone to make phone calls, to send messages, maybe watch some YouTube videos, listen to some music and stuff like that, it will do okay, but if you're a heavy user, this phone is definitely not for you. The phone comes with 16 gigs of internal storage, and out of that we only have about 9 gigs after the operating system, but at least the phone can take an SD card, so it can either take 2 SIM cards at the same time or an SD card and a SIM card, and that SD card can also be used as expandable storage, so you can expand that 16 gigs of internal storage that comes with the device. The front and rear cameras aren't that amazing either, but I kind of doubt that anyone would actually buy this phone for its cameras. On the front here we even have a little flash, and I guess that helps if you're taking pictures at night. But yeah, the pictures that you're gonna take with the front and rear cameras don't look that amazing, the dynamic range isn't great, the pictures don't look that sharp and so on. But I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Now, another thing that I've noticed is the GPS unit. So the GPS unit takes about 3 minutes to find your location, so very slow, and as soon as you move it loses your locations, so not the best GPS units that I've ever seen in a phone. As for sensors, we have some sensors, but the phone it's missing a gyroscope, so keep that in mind. Connectivity wise, here in Canada the phone works on 2G, 3G and on 4G, but based on the bands that show up, you're not going to be able to use this phone in the US, so keep that in mind, but the phone should work pretty much anywhere else in the world. As for the speeds over the Wi-Fi network and the 4G connection, those are okay and normal for a phone at this price. So to quickly conclude this video, you'd only buy this phone if you need a ROG device that's cheap and a ROG device that lasts for a long time, because this phone will do that, but you're not a power user, because if you're a power user, this phone is definitely not for you. The speaker on the back here doesn't get super loud, so that could be annoying, mostly because the speaker is pointed away from you as well. We don't have enough RAM, we don't have a fast processor, and the only good thing about this phone is definitely the battery life. Other than that, yeah, I would probably skip this phone and spend a bit more and get something else. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching!